You see the chord changes and your mind goes blank. What do I play over this progression? In this video, we'll talk about the roadmap and figuring out a plan to play something over that progression you're trying to figure out. Hi, my name is Jason Klobnak and I'm a jazz trumpeter from Denver, Colorado that helps musicians find a better way to improvise. If you're looking for a quick jazz improv tip that will help your soloing, then you've come to the right place. If you drive your car from one destination to another often enough, you get familiar with how to get there and what alternate routes can be taken if there is traffic or roadblocks. The same is true for improvisation. If you've played the same chord progression often enough, you know how to get around. However, if you're in a new city or have a chord progression that's unfamiliar, you may want to map it out or have a GPS guide you. For me, the less I have to think about when navigating something new, the better I perform. Don't get bogged down with too many options to start. The more familiar I become with something, the more I can expand my options. When you're driving in a new city, you want to know how to get from point A to point B. You're really not too concerned on that first trip or two about alternate routes. I like to take the same approach to mapping out new chord changes. When I map out an unfamiliar progression, I will look for commonalities between the chords. Are there key areas or key centers? Can multiple chord changes share the same or similar pattern? If there are commonalities, I will explore those avenues first. So let's use an example. I'm going to use the A section to the progression of Cole Porter's I Love You. One of the first things that I notice is how similar the first 11 bars are to each other. I try to find key areas first, and I see the F major 7 over and over. But I also notice that the first two measures are the same as measures 9 and 10. But we have that minor 7 flat 5 on the G and C7 flat 9. Big indicators that they're going to a minor key. Yet Cole Porter throws you a curve and does a modal interchange, which is just a fancy way of saying he went to G major instead of G minor in this scenario. Finally, he modulates in measures 12 to 16 to the key of A major. So 16 measures simplified into two major destinations, a back and forth from G minor to G major thing, and a modulation to the key of A. Now I can put a plan together of destination points along the way I want to try and hit. And guess what? These are my targets. I will do a mixture of key area targets as well as micro targets, but I'll purposely aim for ones that help color certain chords, like the flat 5 of that G minor 7 flat 5, for example. Then, what type of tools am I already good at to get to these targets? It's one thing to know where you want to go, but if you don't know how to drive a stick shift in a car, you might not want to use that vehicle to get to where you're going. So playing over chord changes is a balance of vertical playing, which is your lines, while aiming at specific harmonic destinations, which are your targets. For the example over this progression, I'm going to use various tools I go into more in depth in my targeting masterclass, which you can find a link in the description down below. Then I'm going to give you a chance to play over it as well. I would continue this process over the whole progression like I showed in the playing example, and find what avenues would support a logical flow similar to the way a GPS routes your trip. The more familiar you get, the more you can expand your options and try different routes that could take you down something even more exciting. I hope you've enjoyed this video and that it has added value or benefit to your playing in some way. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell that's right next to it that lets you know when another video comes out. And if you know any other musician that might find this useful, you can share it with them too. Until then, my name is Jason Klobnak, and I'll see you on the next one.